The Smoky Mountains may be famous for bears, but let's be honest, the goats seem to be running this place. Welcome to Bear Facts, where we explore the Smoky Mountains one bear fact at a time. There is a surprising number of local businesses that have either a very strong goat theme or have goats, like literally goats, as part of their experience. So today, instead of a bear hunt, today we're going to take you on a goat hunt and explore places who have fully embraced their inner goat and have left the bears to hunt in garbage cans and break into people's cars somewhere else. When people think of the Smoky Mountains, bears usually steal the spotlight. They're the celebrities, the headliners, the animals people spend hours in Cades Cove hoping to see just one rare sighting of them, or travel the entire Smoky Mountain National Park in hopes that that one elusive spotting will happen while they're standing there. But while the bears are making headlines in Gatlinburg and the national park, the goats have been quietly taking over the supporting roles, and possibly the lead in the rest of the Smokies. They're showing up in places you'd never expect in Pigeon Forge and Sevierville, and growing not only in popularity but fame as they spread their insidious, cute personalities through local businesses, and they devise their final takeover of the entire area. Pigeon Forge is built for families who want everything at once. Easy access to amazing mountains just on either side of Gatlinburg, high roller coasters, casual southern food, flashing lights, and the attractions that just don't slow down. Add Dollywood into that mix and the energy just keeps rolling from morning to night. A town like that doesn't have room for bears. Goats somehow make more sense. They're friendly and, other than those creepy eyes, cute and all. But how do they figure into this family Vegas-style metro city of flashing arcade lights, go-karts, and miniature golf complexes that seem to spring to life everywhere you go? Well, let's take a look at how goats have started their invasion and visit some places that goats have made their stake in and decide if the goats are worth the hype. Because unlike those elusive, pesky bears that like to hide behind garbage cans in Gatlinburg or sneak into your cabin at night, the goats have no problem taking center stage and posing for the cameras. We're going to start our goat journey in Pigeon Forge, at one of the places that doesn't just flirt with the idea, they fully committed to the goat theme. The business is called Goat on the Roof, and while most attractions have employees, this one has co-goats. Yeah, I know. I thought that was funny. The Goat on the Roof has 2 locations. Well, there's actually 3 if you want to include the Jurassic Times, but those are just boring old dinosaurs, and goats don't make much of a showing at that place. The first location with the Goats on the Roof, their actual title name is in there, is on the Parkway in Pigeon Forge. Now, this is basically just a glorified souvenir shop, but what they do to draw in clients are they actually advertise that they have goats inside. And yeah, they actually do have real goats inside. So once you walk inside, you will be inundated with all kinds of lovely souvenirs, including goat things with goat shirts and a lot of other stuff that's just Smoky Mountain orientated. But if you go to the back, there are live goats. They actually have a pen set up in the back, and these are baby goats mostly, and they actually are in an open space, so you can reach over and pet them if the goats are willing to let you near them. Now, this is not one of those places where you can get in and hang out with the goats, but you know what? It's still fun, and here's the best part. It's free. You just can go in, and if you can pass by all the souvenirs without spending any money, which is not the goal of the owners, but anyway, you can actually just go in with your family and take a look at the cute little goats in the back and not pay a dime. Now, if you haven't gotten enough of your goat fix from visiting this souvenir shop, then get back in your car and keep following down 321 off of the Parkway, heading towards Wears Valley and Towns End. The other Goats on the Roof location is a few miles down that road and might be worth the short detour. This location is a full-on family entertainment center with one of the first mountain coasters in the area. They also now have a brand new dinosaur-themed miniature golf course, lots of great souvenirs, and of course, they have goats. Lots of goats. And though it might be the dinosaurs that catch your eye as you're first pulling into their parking lot, the goats are the ones who are the true top dogs. Even Tyrannosaurus Rex has lost the battle as this goat uses him for a free ride. Once you pass by the dinosaurs and move by the Mount Coaster, you'll find the goats have infested the entire other half of this family complex and souvenir shop. These judgmental spectators are allowed to walk all over the place, including the roof. They have hangouts that are accessible to guests who want to feed them and pens throughout the area. And here's the best part, you can take a bike ride, but this bicycle won't actually take you anywhere. No amount of pedaling will move those bikes. Instead, what you'll be doing is pumping out goat food to the top of the roof for those greedy miscreants to gobble up and wait for more. The goats are right there, calmly existing and looking like they've accepted their role as the Smoky Mountain celebrities they are. And they're also more of the true masterminds of the entire operation than anyone else. Goats on the roof aren't the only ones who have fully embraced these weird cross-eyed critters. If you head back to the Parkway, there are many other businesses who have also embraced these snack-seeking missiles. One of those places is in Sevierville, right off the Parkway. They're called Skyland Ranch, and they are a mountainside attraction similar to Anarchista. Now this place has fully embraced all of the kinds of farm critters you might find around the area, and goats are definitely one of those celebrities they have up there. One of the best ways in order to actually embrace your inner goat here at Skyland Ranch is to get on a hayride. The hayrides do cost a little bit, and when you get on a hayride, you're actually driven around the farm and ranch and are allowed to pet and engage in the animals. And of course, the goats are one of those critters that you can have fun and engage with. If you actually take the horizontal sky ride up to their mountainside attraction, you might also spot them hanging out in the valley below your feet. These goats act like their true namesake, mountain goats, as they're climbing around this big valley below, watching you thinking, what in the heck is wrong with those people dangling above us? But you know what? We know goats are judgmental and all, so we'll just let it be. Also in Sevierville, just down the road from Skyland Ranch, off the Parkway, is a place called the Rainforest Adventure Discovery Zoo. Okay, I know, that's a mouthful, but that's their name. This place offers a full lineup of animals from around the world. Bright birds, reptiles, exotic mammals, and of course, goats. Because no matter how exotic the surroundings get, the goats seem to find a way to be part of all the experiences. They blend in effortlessly, like they're always meant to be there, quietly stealing attention away from animals that have traveled much further than I have ever traveled my life to show up and be here in Sevierville. I guess because the goats have those strange slanted eyes, they thought they'd fit right in next to the snakes and reptiles and other exotic critters. But no matter how cute and lovable they look, these critters do have a little bit of a dark side. We noticed they kept giving the sloths a dirty look as though they were plotting a way to get rid of the competition. Now, speaking of plotting, these goats have also taken up residence in front of one of Pigeon Forge's premier family destinations at the Hatfield and McCoy Dinner Show. This is a long-running dinner show about one of the most famous family feuds in the Smokies. I guess because they couldn't decide which family should be in charge, they have let it fall under goat supervision. I still can't figure out what the goat is doing in this video, if he was like sleeping there or something, but I would kind of sat there and like, okay, what are you doing there, goat? Do goats sleep standing up? I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know in the comments. Now, even though Skyland Ranch, Hatfield and McCoy Show, and the Goats in the Roof allow you to pet or even feed their cute friends, only one place in the area actually allows you to crawl into their pen and hand feed them and even pick them up. The place is called the Smoky Mountain Deer Farm and Exotic Zoo. Yes, they love their long names here. This place is off of the Parkway. It's actually a little off, away from most all the main attractions, which actually sometimes makes it better because you get a little bit of a drive and you're escaping the traffic. But at this place, where goats go from something you can look at, they actually become something you can experience. This is a very popular stop for families who are looking for something a little bit more interactive and hands-on. But at this family-focused petting farm, the goats have to share the center stage with some tough competitions. Those sloths have nothing on some of these guys. They have camels, horses, peacocks, elk, pigs, rabbits, and lots of cute deer. But one other thing they have, which I don't know, the goats are always suspicious of, are the zebras. I mean, the zebras walk around in black and white like they just escaped prison. So yeah, it makes sense that the goats would be suspicious of them. But yeah, you can actually pet and hand feed the zebras here. So it gonna make sense the goats are gonna try their hardest to capture your attention any way they can, even if they have to hand over their babies. Because yeah, at the Smoky Mountain Deer Farm, you can actually pet and pick up baby goats. They actually allow it, as it's part of the experience if you want. You can also pet and feed many of the other animals around the farm. This place will definitely turn adults into kids, teenagers into humans, at least for a minute, and kids, well, they just turn into adult goats. Either way, at this petting farm, the cameras will come out, smiles will happen, and the goats, well, they're usually completely unfazed. They just look down their long noses at the zebras and snort derisively. They own this town. After all that goat exposure, you might think the theme has finally fully been exhausted. That surely there can't be another goat connection awaiting around the corner. But this is the Smoky Mountains, and the goat theme doesn't wrap up politely. It just changes form and shows up at a dinner time and reminds you that one last time that in the Smoky Mountains, goats have a way of following you everywhere you go. Enter the Local Goat, one of the most popular restaurants in the Smoky Mountains. And though they might consider themselves a farm-to-table restaurant, and they have a giant goat on their logo, they don't actually put goat on the menu, so you can sigh with relief. What you will find are some of the most talked about burgers and other food items in the area. Their burgers are stacked high, creatively topped, and responsible for the consistently long wait times at the restaurant. Heck, everything on the menu accounts for those long lines and the packed house. The Local Goat has built a reputation that keeps people coming back, with every item on the menu made in-house, including their sauces, ketchups, fries, and breads. The menu leans heavily into comfort foods with personality, offering options that feel familiar but are a little bit upgraded. Add in the atmosphere, which matches their food with a casual and lively and always busy way. The Local Goat is the kind of place where the dining room feels full of energy, especially during peak travel seasons. And the wait can stretch long enough to test your patience for sure. But once the food hits the table, it's easier to understand why people keep lining up for more. Portions are generous, the fries are awesome, and the staff and service make up for any long waits you might endure. But while they have a goat winking at you from every corner of the restaurant, you won't actually find any real goats wandering through the dining room. This cheeky goat is just their mascot, but one that represents a growing goat fascination in the area, with not only locals, get it, Local Goat, but with the tourists who are getting fed up with all those annoying bears. So let's head back to that initial question. Why have the goats become so popular, and what makes them so well loved in the area? Well, I'm going to throw out my guess, and one is that in the Smoky Mountains, they've become popular because they just fit in. They're actually rooted in the Appalachian farm history, and they're comfortable in every terrain, and they're familiar enough to feel natural in almost any setting. Unlike bears, which are iconic, they like to keep their distance. Goats are approachable, interactive, and easy to build an experience around. They're friendly, curious, and just the right amount of unpredictable. More than anything, the goats just match the personality of the Smokies themselves. They're quirky, photogenic, and effortlessly entertaining, turning simple attractions into experiences people talk about long after the trip ends. In a town called Pigeon Forge, where pigeons mostly stay on the rooftops, goats have stepped into the spotlight and quietly become the unofficial mascot of the Parkway. The bears may own the mountains, but the goats own our memories. I hope this video helps you plan your visit to the Smoky Mountains. You're getting an honest review from our personal experiences, but facts and things change and goats move on, so please keep us in the loop if you learn anything new and want to share your experiences in the comments. Thanks again for visiting us at Bear Facts of the Smoky Mountains. Please click that like button and subscribe to our channel.